Welcome back to part 3. In this video I'm going to be cleaning, removing rust and preparing all the surfaces, the parts. I'm going to clean, remove rust, paint, and just make sure that everything is in order. I'll be purchasing new nuts and bolts and washers, trying to restore bolts and washers and nuts which can be reused again. So I've begun removing the rust, but what I've discovered, and if you can just see, just slowly, it's not a perfect circle. It's just not a perfect circle. It's been elongated, and at this point it is, do I scrap them? And what I'm thinking is that I'm going to enlarge the hole, or holes I should say, so they are a perfect circle instead of elongated. Now this could be, the car was leaning to one side, in terms of wheel which was squatting, and this might be one of the factors. The kingpin it's past its use date, and this could be another part which is contributing to the wheel which is squatting. So I'm just going to be going through all the parts, checking. So when I do assemble all the parts on the car again, I'm greeted with a fresh parts, fresh nuts and bolts, and it should go together no problem. Wish me luck. Welcome back, and as you can see, I've removed most of the rust, and I'm just assessing the holes. Now you can just see that seems to be okay. That's where the drop link is connected. It's just there. But again, I want to, and it's not perfect, but it's okay. If I just do that seems to be. So I think that arm can be saved. Just needs. I will apply some zinc primer and then maybe hammerite. So I think that's a keeper. Here you can see there, I'm not too happy. That's not a perfect hole. Only way would be to drill a slightly bigger hole and apply a bigger nut and bolt. Here again, drop link goes into there. Again, it's not perfect. Other side, this is when the problems, you can see there. The more I think about this, the more I think I'm going to renew it. Again, it's not perfect, and if I start drilling, making bigger holes, it's going to weaken it slightly. However, apart from, it's a shame, but you can see it's, this might be part of my trouble with the wheel, but it's not perfect, and it indicates that it has been moving within the holder slightly to cause that friction. This is the upgrade for the dampener, telescopic dampener, Do I believe in them? Would I buy one? No, not the design. I really, no. I just wouldn't. They were on the car when I purchased, but it means if I remove them, I'll have to remove them from the other 3 wheels. But I can assess the other side when I take that apart to service, or service I should say. Again, just slightly elongated. Again, I can put this into a pedestal drill and just make it slightly bigger bolt. Again, they're just slightly worn. That's fine. Being told that that's where they normally wear, and that seems to be fine. I don't want to touch that. Really don't want to touch that. I'm sure I can touch this part. So I think what I will do is, I think the arms are salvageable. It's all, I can't even say the word, but I think I can be maybe able to keep those. Or the best thing is renew the whole lot. This, that, and that. And then it just seems to be a bit of a waste of money when this is serviced, but you just need maybe just an extra bigger hole. Here, I think I'm going to look, and I think I will buy a new one. And this will get rid of this movement in there. And I can't make it, if I make this bigger, I've got to make the bolt bigger, which I can't, because that's where the drop fixes into, goes into there. There's going to be, I'm going to check when I put the drop link in if there's movement. If there's movement in there, I'm going to have to buy a new pan. This is the first time I've taken apart a wishbone from an MGB. It's not been old Fords, and just not really you don't really get this really. I just don't. This is the fits onto there. You've got the what goes through there with the bushes. But that's what I need to do. It's a shame, because you just think a bit slightly bigger hole, but I think there I can't do anything about it. I can't put a bigger hole. I can't put a bigger bolt in there, because that's where the jump link is. Here, not a problem. I can drill into there, and I can make bigger bolts. I can re-drill this pan, but this here, you'll have a problem here. And I really think if I renew the pan, to take that out, put a newer pan in, that's fine. That, again, make it slightly bigger if I need to. Drill the new pan slightly bigger, just put bigger bolts in. Again, there'll be nylon lock nuts on there. I've been thinking about the shocker, what comes with the Armstrong shocker. I'm going to try those bolts to see if they do have nylon lock nuts on there. If not, I will renew those. So I'm just going through each part of the suspension, and anything which I can find which I feel is worn out, I will renew or try and service. So when I do put it all back together, I'm putting back together new parts with old, but I know they really work. I have here all the bolts. I've cleaned them, degreased them, but I just want to show you, there's one bolt here, it's here, and you can see where it's been rubbing. So there again, you can feel it's thinner. So there's been movement in there. There's been movement. So people who have MGBs, it's just a common fault. And again, all comments will be welcome. Comment on this video. But if these are for the calipers. Again, there was not a lock tab. This is for the steering arm. There's nothing wrong with that. I've got a tap and die set, but I don't think I need to clean them. It's serviceable. It's fine. It really is. It's been degreased and it's been rust removed. Maybe when I put them on, I could actually paint with black paint or even silver paint. but that's fine. That's all. And again, some of these, that's past its life. But again, I'm making a list of what I need to buy from well, I'll tell you now, from Midland Sports. That's where I normally buy all my parts. Good service, but I can just look and then just pick what I need. I'll make my decision on the pan, but the more I talk about it, the more I think, yeah. The dust guard for the disc, forgot to rub that down. For how much they cost, sometimes it's best if you just buy new. For how much, you know, it's one of those, it might take half an hour to rub down, to paint, to get all the rust off, when it's a bit cheaper just to actually just buy new. The parts are so cheap, but it all mounts up. It all mounts up. So that's another thing. This is the steering arm, connects onto the kingpin. Rubbed it down, again, zinc primer, painted hammerite black. Bolts are clean. Everything, when I put it back together, everything will be clean. There'll be no rust or rusty bolts. For torquing down, you want the torque of the bolt, you don't want the torque of the rust and the bolt. It's going to give it incorrect reading. So that's where we're at with the wishbone. Degreasing the wheel bearings, or wheel bearings. That's my next. I need to assess the hub and the wheel bearing itself, but they're looking good. There's no rust on them, but and the rollers seem to be fine. I've checked the rollers. I need to check the runner, which is in the hub, if it's smooth and it has no grooves and, you know, wear grooves. I'll look at that. There's a space what goes on the hub and then the seal. I'll look at that, and if there's no groove on there and there's no rust, it's serviceable. Maybe a little bit of wet and dry just to clean it up should be fine. So it's about restoring what you've got and what you can, you know, what needs to be renewed. I think some people just go, yeah, I'll pay for the whole new system, which is fine, but some of it can be reused, and you know, it's keeping the cost down. And that money can be put towards maybe poly bushes, which I've got on the rear of the car. So I'm going to put poly bushes on there. If I don't need a wheel bearing, that's fine. This car sits high at the front. It's got new springs on the front, and I'm just thinking, is it from a rubber bumper, the spring, and it's being mixed up? But I might look at another spring for a chrome bumper. But I'm sure mine's a chrome bumper. It's not converted. It's a 1972. But maybe they've got the springs mixed up. I don't really know. It's got a new drop link. So by the end, I'm going to have a complete restored suspension on the offside. I will look at the near side and I'll just do the same. But there seems to be no problems at the moment of the near side. But I will look and do exactly the same. I hope this video, it's only going to be about 15 minutes long. I might include the wheel bearings as well. Bye for now. Next step is to assess the wheel bearings. Just going in order. So here we have the what goes onto the hub. So it's like that. I'm just going to clean it. It's rusty, but it can't. There's no ridge. You can see a little bit there, but I'm just going to clean it with some wet and dry. That can be saved. Just clean it up. Seal seems to be serviceable. Doesn't seem to have any grooves or any wear marks. I'm going to double check. I will renew the split pin. Found 2 shims. There's a thick one. I haven't measured them, but I might buy a shim pack. The inner wheel bearing. Some rust. I think it's rust. I'd nothing to be scraped off. But the rollers seem to be clean. I've removed all the grease and I will be repacking them with grease. But it seems to be good. I think it can be serviced. Some people might be worried with the rust, but it's not on the rollers. It's on the casing. And it might be just ingrained grease, I don't know. But I think it's more like rust. But that seems to be fine. There's no jagged edges. Seems to roll. It's not stiff, so I think that can be put back into service. Space is fine. There's no gouges. I think the outer wheel bearing is being renewed, I should say. But again, it just looks newer. But there's no grooves. There's no rust on there, so I think the inner one is. I don't think it's going to be original, but it's old. It's older than. This needs to be renewed. There should be a tab on there what goes onto the hub. That needs to be renewed. And the bolt, it's fine. A little bit of rust on there, but fine. I've looked at the runner, what sits in, and that's fine. There's no gouges. I thought when I found out about a tab, I thought if it gets caught in there, it'll just rip, it'll just tear gouges in there. So that's the one with mitts to the hub. And I've looked at the other one and it's fine as well. It's quite hard to actually look. You can just see there, but it's hard. But I've checked, and it seems to be fine. There's no gouges, no rust. There's no pitting to the runner. I just want to assess that these wheel bearings can be reused again. I've bought a dial gauge, so I will be using the shims, and I will be setting it up according to the manual and demonstrations on the internet via YouTube. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's a brilliant community, and it's just all serviceable. But I thought I'm going to end this video at this point because now I'm in the process. I can make a list of what I need to order from a popular MG website. I find that other auction sites are very expensive compared to just going straight to an online site. Okay, bye for now. Like and share. Please comment. This is a learning curve for me. This is the first time I've set something up on an MGB in terms of suspension and wheel bearings. And I'm just taking my time and restoring parts, but I found out this afternoon that the lower suspension, it looks like it's knackered. The pan and the lower arms, I know it's elongated holes, and really, I've gone to this length. I might as well, people are saying purchase new. Okay, bye for now. Like, share, subscribe, and next week will be part 4. Alright, bye for now.